If you are wondering if the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps or the Dave Ramsey plan in general is one that you should follow, I'm going to unpack it and talk about when you should follow the baby steps and when maybe the Dave Ramsey plan is not really right for you. Hi, I'm Wendy Valencia, my husband Mauricio, and I have paid off over $275,000 worth of debt, at first following the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps, and then later on going it on our own. And so I've seen it from both sides, and I'm here to tell you that no one way is 100% right 100% of the time. So let's go over when you should follow the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps first. Number one, you are brand new to money management and you just need to learn the basics. So the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps is absolutely perfect for someone who is trying to gain control of their finances. They have no idea how much they have coming in and going out every month, and they just need to start somewhere. The second time you really should consider following the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps is when you are absolutely atrocious with your money and you need to rein it in and gain control. Dave Ramsey makes it very easy to gain control of your finances when you feel like they're out of control. The third time you should really consider following the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps is if you're a person who needs really strict rules. I know there are a ton of you out there because you are the ones that say, well, what do I do if I go over? Where does that money come from? You are looking for rules and regulations for every single cent of your money. You know who you are. I'm not going to lie. That was kind of me for a really long time. The fourth time you should really consider following the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps is if your outgo is more than your income every month. What does that mean? It means if you are spending more every month than you are earning every month and you are digging into savings, or you are, God forbid, putting it on a credit card and going deeper and deeper into a hole every month, the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps may be just what you're looking for, because they're going to teach you how to get out of that hole and stop digging yourself in deeper. The fifth time you might really consider following the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps is if you don't know the difference between a want and a need. And sure, we all know that food is a need. We all know that gas is a need. We all know that our electric bill is a need. But let me give you an example of when it might be difficult for you to tell the difference between a want and a need. This is an example I've used multiple times on my channel. So you're out running errands, you've got your 4-year-old in the back seat of the car, and all of a sudden they're like, Mommy, I'm hungry, feed me, and they're crying and they're grumpy and it's making you grumpy. So you reach for that deep space in your purse or your bag that you keep all your kids' stuff in and grab the granola bars and realize that you left them on the counter at home. It's happened to all of us. Don't lie, you know. So you decide that it's time to run through the McDonald's drive-thru and get a Happy Meal. Yeah, you know that the food is horrible for your kid, but desperate times call for desperate measures. So you grab a Happy Meal, and it's not too expensive, and you pay cash for it, and you're happy, and the kid's happy. Was that a want or a need? And let me tell you, your answer and my answer may be totally different. If you are having trouble determining whether that would be a want or a need to you, then the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps are absolutely perfect for you. The sixth reason you might consider following the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps is that you realize that behavior modification is going to be the key to your success. The debt snowball is 100% based on behavior modification. And it's frequently the most expensive way to pay off your debt. But if you need to modify your behavior to be successful, then the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps are probably right up your alley. So now let's go over when you probably shouldn't follow the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps, or maybe you keep following them and you just tweak them to fit your own lifestyle. Because you can do that. It's your money. The first time you should probably consider looking around, not just at the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps, is when you have a fantastic control on your finances and you just want to pay off your debt. If you are paying your bills every month and you're living on a budget and you have an emergency fund already saved and you just have decided that you want the debt to be gone, the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps might not be right for you because, as I said, the debt snowball is frequently the most expensive way to get out of debt. So maybe you want to consider looking at other options. The second time you probably should consider looking in a different direction is when you have a huge emergency fund already saved. If you follow the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps, they are going to require you to spend that emergency fund paying off debt, and then you will be left without an emergency fund. And those of you who suffered in 2020 from lost jobs or lost income, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes financial security is way more important than being debt-free. The third time you might consider looking at a different plan than the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps is when you or your spouse has a widely fluctuating income. And if you are one of those people that makes $20,000 one month and then no income for the next 2 months and then maybe $7,000, the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps might not be the way you want to go. Unless, of course, your spouse can cover your entire budget on just their income and they have a stable income. Then it's not such a big deal. But if you are trying to figure out how to balance all of your payments every month on an inconsistent income, Dave Ramsey Baby Steps are hard to follow when you have a fluctuating income. Not gonna lie, it can be done. It's just really difficult. The fourth time that maybe the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps or the debt snowball aren't right for you is that you believe that math is the most important thing in finances. When you have been on a debt journey for a while, you will realize everybody at a certain point realizes that math is actually one of the more important things to financial success. And once you reach that point, you're going to realize that maybe the baby steps aren't perfect for you. And at that point, you may choose to walk away from them. The fifth reason you might consider not following the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps, or maybe you want to alter them to fit your life, is that you want to pay off debt and save at the same time. And I am proof positive that you can do both at the same time. We are saving for our emergency fund, saving for our short-term savings funds, and paying off debt all at the same time. It can be done. You don't have to focus on one to have financial success. And the sixth reason you maybe should consider going a different direction than the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps is because you just feel like in your gut the plan is not right for you. When Mauricio and I started out on the baby steps, I very quickly started having this gnawing feeling in my stomach saying, this just doesn't fit with our lifestyle. We had the income to save, pay off debt, and have vacations all at the same time without super sacrificing. Sure, it was going to take longer to pay off debt, but we were still going to get there. And that's what we're doing. But I ignored that sensation in my gut for a while, and we tried to go at it really hard. And Mauricio and I realized that much like the cabbage soup diet, if you cut everything out of your finances and you have no fun in your life and you do not get to do anything, and you have more than like a 6-month debt payoff plan, you're probably going to do exactly what you do after you go on a super strict diet. You're going to binge a lot, and we did. So if you want to hear the pros and the cons of following the Dave Ramsey Baby Steps from someone who has done it, and I'm real honest because there are some really strong pros and some really, really strong cons, I'm gonna put the video right up over here. So I'll see you in the next one.